Uranium stocks have recovered some today. We're going to talk about why. There is some great legislation in the House of Representatives for uranium, and this is a resolution. This is not a bill. We know bills can take a while, and we'll talk about that. This resolution is very positive for uranium and the nuclear industry overall. This could bring funds and get these bills passed a lot faster. And we'll also talk about the new House bill that is a dual bill with the Senate that's already out there, and it is the Fueling Our Nuclear Future Act. And this is very good for uranium, and there's a lot of support for it already too. And this resolution that we're talking about could help get these bills passed a lot sooner. A lot of bills sit, and we're going to talk about what that means. Now, uranium stocks are doing a little bit better today, as well as the overall market, but commodities have continued to take off. We know the uranium price yesterday, there was bidding and the prices went up in uranium. So we're going to just jump into that. But thank you so much. Last video, we almost got 1,000 likes again, but I've been putting these videos out too late. So I think I need to get the videos out sooner so we can hit that 1,000 like before nighttime. But this video, I need you guys to tell me your like number and tell me, do you think that any of these resolutions or bills on uranium are going to pass? They have been sitting for a long time. The Russian uranium ban bill, is it going to pass? Are we going to see them all pass at once? And will this resolution help this? Because there's already 14 bipartisan co-sponsors. This resolution not only has to do with nuclear energy, but it has to do with uranium and production. And it highlights everything in this resolution. So make sure you guys give the like number. We'll try to get to 1,000. And then do you think these bills are going to pass, or this resolution? Now, this is in the House of Representatives, and it's the expansion of domestic nuclear energy and advanced nuclear technology as a viable source of power in order to promote the United States nuclear energy leadership and global energy independence. Now, the text in this bill is very bullish on U.S. nuclear and production, uranium production and enrichment. And it's going to highlight, because it gives a bunch of facts about the whole industry and how we are going to need energy. And it basically highlights everything you hear from me and a lot of people out there that cover this sector, and it highlights it all in one. And these are representatives that are not on those committees, right? They're going to get to hear a lot of this for the first time. A lot of people don't understand this. They don't know it. And this does not have to go through all of the process that a bill has to go through. This could be very fast. And this will have a lot of effects on things like this, the Fueling Our Nuclear Future Act. And this was the Senate, this is Senator Brasso, leading senator. And some of the things in here, the need for increased domestic uranium production to meet the needs described in this section. So it is all about uranium enrichment, uranium production, mining. And this is not just a Senate bill now that's going to set. They have which will be out probably today on the website. And this was Representative Luria. She introduced this bipartisan Fueling Our Nuclear Future Act and boost domestic energy production and grow U.S. advanced nuclear technology. So she's actually really cool. She was the one that was a nuclear engineer and operated nuclear reactors in the U.S. Navy. So it is nice to see that we have the House side bipartisan now supporting this. Now we need this to get through. We need this to pass so everyone can understand and be on the same page. Now, all these bills, the bill to prohibit enriched uranium from Russia, Critical Mineral Classification Improvement Act, Domestic USA Act, these are both the same thing, to amend and make uranium a critical mineral. The Fueling Our Nuclear Fuels Act, International Nuclear Energy Act, Nuclear Prosperity, No Russia Act, the prohibition of importation of uranium from Russia. All of these bills are currently in the process of hopefully being voted on by the Senate and House. Now, this resolution, I think, could bring all of these to the forefront, because this is a big issue, especially an amendment like this, these two that'll bring uranium as a critical mineral. These things are going to really be amplified if this resolution passes, because there are a lot of people out there that I did not even know supported nuclear energy that are supporting this. And that's very big. And this just happened. This was, they had a recess. So this is just literally like within the past couple weeks, right? So there could be a lot more people supporting it, and it's probably going to get passed. So we are in an energy crisis. So nuclear power is definitely going to be needed. And it's just crazy seeing all this. Now, what has this done to the commodity markets? Well, you can see these energy commodities are up a lot today. Now, for the month, some of them are, like UK gas, are even up a lot higher for the month. Like, we're hitting records here, right? UK gas, Euro gas. Some of the other ones like crude oil, they pulled back this month, but today 3 to 4% they're up. It is nice to see them back in the 90s because I think uranium, this sets uranium up. And if uranium was at any point yoked to some of these sectors, especially oil, having it go up and then uranium able to go into the fall refueling and we see more volume in the spot market, it could be a really good setup. But how are uranium stocks responding? Well, majority of the stocks out there on the US side, they're just, that's small. Like, a couple of 5-6 years ago, I would have been like, man, that's great. A couple percent in a stock like that. But now that's tiny. Okay. So we see big moves in these, especially the big US producers. And, we've seen really, really big moves from those before. But right now, I consider this pretty much flat. The NASDAQ is up. So it is nice at least that the uranium stocks are green today. But the overall market, energy minerals are really hitting off again today. Ukraine is preparing for a situation there. Now, for a country that has had a nuclear disaster, this is not really out of the norm. Okay, they're preparing for this. Now, if you're in the military, you do drills every single day per month. You got to hit the quota. You're on a ship, you do this stuff all the time. So it is not out of the norm, but the media is kind of pushing it. And I think Ukraine is wanting to push this too because they've been telling the United Nations that what Russia's doing. And Ukraine does need to show that this is an issue, that Russia needs to leave. Now, the United Nations Foreign Ministry proposal to demilitarize the Z plant is unacceptable, says Moscow. So Russia's foreign minister on Thursday dismissed a proposal by the UN, the General Antonio Guterres, to demilitarize the area around the Russian-controlled Z plant in southern Ukraine. So the thing is, they're not going to leave. These 6 reactors, this is worth $10+ billion, okay? These are really big reactors, biggest ones in Europe, as you all know. So they are saying that Russia wants to cut everything off and then basically hotwire the energy and send it down to Crimea. So, they are saying that this would be a very bad idea if they do this. So it is a possible black swan out there, but I honestly think that it's really being blown out of proportion. The side that says, that there could be a meltdown, a nuclear reactor meltdown. This is not like Chernobyl, and this plant obviously is a lot safer. And both sides know they went through a disaster. They went through Chernobyl. They don't want to do that again. They know that would just destroy both countries' economy. Now, Russia has been doing cyber attacks to their energy websites, their infrastructure. 7.25 million bots basically crashed the website. So we're in an ongoing war. Russia says it could shut frontline nuclear power plant. Ukraine warns that a disaster would happen. Some more news out there. Russia said on Thursday it could shut down Europe's largest nuclear power station after it came under shelling at the front lines. So they're actually saying, so Russia is saying that it's Ukraine, but obviously Russia's the one that invaded, took over the largest nuclear power plant. And they have been saying, Russia's been saying crazy things that everyone knows is not true, out there since the very beginning. They said they weren't going to invade. People said they weren't going to invade, and they invaded. So pretty much whatever they say is probably the opposite of what's really going on. But does this mean there's going to be a reactor meltdown? No, definitely not. And they do have, obviously, professionals there. It's not like the military guys that have no clue what they're doing are trying to hook up the plant. They have Rosatom employees there from what I've heard, and it looked like that they already shut down a lot of the plants. So a lot of these reactors, it looks like they're already shut down. The market closes in about 30 minutes. We can see uranium, especially in the US, still up a couple percent. Cameco is down today. We're looking at the NASDAQ here. The NASDAQ still kind of bouncing around all day. We're still 0.5%. So, that's fine. We could check out, the uranium stocks. We're still above that trend line for UEC. A lot of the stocks are very similar. We had a big drop. I think Cameco being red today, Cameco is looking a lot like Energy Fuels and UEC was yesterday. So it's just pretty much catching up. Now, UR Energy had a nice move today. I think Peninsula did as well. They released some information. A lot of people have been posting about that in the Discord. So another thing we can look at. So there was a nuclear energy renaissance, if you guys don't know, in the 1970s. There was 150 reactors in less than 10 years, okay? 150 from this time to here. Now, this could actually happen in this uranium bull market. And that's why we saw that 700% run. Uranium went to $218. So looking back at history, it kind of shows us these reactors come up what could really happen. And obviously with the supply deficit, they were producing more uranium than they needed back then. So imagine when we don't have the uranium and these are coming up, what prices could be. And one last thing here. So Amir actually met with the governor of Wyoming, which is really cool. He's actually super pro-nuclear. And obviously that's the best state right now for new advanced reactors coming in and uranium mining, obviously. So when they got Uranium One assets, they became like one of the biggest there. And we have Cameco there as well. You know, big companies that are mining in Wyoming. But getting those Uranium One assets back, which was actually pretty funny because Uranium One was trending. So uranium is still trending, I believe, 3,700 tweets on uranium. Now, a lot of that's probably Uranium One. A lot of that's probably me and you guys reposting the hashtag. But it is nice to see a CEO that is on the ground, that is meeting with big government officials. They also want them to ban Russian uranium imports. Senator Barrasso, he's also from there as well. And as you guys know, so this is great. And a lot of people in the Discord are saying, yeah, he's like the best uranium CEO now. He literally went from like last draft pick, you know, in the NFL in a sense, very last, to now hitting everything you want in the CEO. And yeah, he's not a geologist, but the people on their team, they've got a great team. So I think that they're going to get back into production very quickly. You're going to be signing a lot of contracts. Being able to day and swing trade, catch those waves. I told everyone in the Discord that it's like we're sitting on the beach. We're just waiting for those waves to come in, because I think a huge swell is coming. Big volatility in uranium sector is coming. It's going to be a lot of fun very soon. You guys stay positive out there. I want you guys to not be worried about the overall market, uranium. Have a good time in the summer. And guys, let me know below your number and let me know, do you think any of these resolutions or bills on uranium are going to pass? The Russian uranium ban bill? Let me know below, and until next time.